let's talk about some other local news. So some in the administration clearly not getting the message from Second Amendment advocates and supporters to back off this notion of coming after people's guns or coming after them because they have a gun. Let's play this clip of U.S. Attorney for D.C. Jeanine Pirro on Fox News.
You bring a gun into the district, you mark my words, you're going to jail. I don't care if you have a license in another district, and I don't care if you're a law-abiding gun owner somewhere else. You bring a gun into this district, count on going to jail, and hope you get the gun back.
Sean, wouldn't that mean a bunch of Republican lawmakers would be going to jail?
No. So, the DC does. It's a unbelievably arduous task, but you can get a permit. In fact, I was literally talking to a lawmaker about a week ago who was in the final stages of their permit. DC, because of some great Supreme Court cases, has had to allow the ownership of handguns. When I lived there, when I was early in my 20s, it was almost impossible. You could own like long guns from the Civil War that, were like had a barrel that was 20 feet long. It was challenged in court. They now have this unbelievably arduous permitting process. And I know members who have and are going through it. So that's separate. Again, though, philosophically, I don't know why what Jeanine said there, to me, I get it. That's currently the law in DC. But like for our side to be coming out strong and like we've been fighting to say that you have a constitutional right to carry. You have all of these things. And it's one thing if she was pointing out what the current law of DC is. I would get that and I would respect that, saying, hey, unfortunately, the current law says X and my job is to enforce the current law. But that's not what I heard there, which is like we're coming after gun owners. And, it was interesting. There was one of the gun groups probably a couple days after some of the comments that were made after the Preddy killing was saying, you start to attrit just a few % of MAGA voters that are Second Amendment supporters, that could be fatal in a midterm. And I just don't know. To me, I'm like, why are we doing this? Like, why are we are champions of the Second Amendment. I believe in gun ownership well beyond whether there was a Second Amendment or not. Like, I think it makes sense. It's smart. Like, and to have our side out there sort of elevating this issue, to me, is not helpful.
And that's I think is the big issue, which is you have a voter enthusiasm problem on the right. And you now think about places where gun rights are huge. Georgia, Ohio, North Carolina. This is not, she is an extension of what Trump has been banging on and others in the administration, which is you do not have a right or should not be carrying guns around any sort of protest. You should not be carrying guns around law enforcement at all. Boy, it sounds like the Democratic Party. And to keep leaning in, if you're a Democrat, you're going to start doing mail, not officially through the party, to remind Republican voters, this is how you suppress the vote. You just take clips and you just send it to people and say, please call and thank Jeanine Pirro for trying to confiscate your guns. Yeah. And that's how you get people to say, you know what, screw them. I don't want to turn out to vote. I mean,
like I said, the irony, of course, is that
both parties do that, folks.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's, I remember during the Romney campaign, it was like it was in a religious attack of sorts. But the idea that like our side, I mean, to Dan's point, like we're not like, we need more excitement, more like we're fighting for this, not, hey, we're trying to step on the enthusiasm of key issues, whether it was pro-life or Second Amendment issues. To me, we're not helping what we need to get people fired up for coming into a midterm.
I just like, if there were a bunch of shootings recently and like, the murder rate was like skyrocketing or something, like maybe I could see her saying something like this, but like the context of it, I didn't understand the context of it other than to just sound angry.
Right, but also like
residents, yeah.
Again, we have like the movement, not me, but the movement has fought to get the residents of DC their ability to carry concealed, carry handguns for decades. Literally, there was a Supreme Court case
about DC.
About DC. Yeah. And like to suddenly come out and say, we're going to go after you and you'll be lucky if you get the gun back and you're going to go to jail. I mean, again, I get noting what the current law is. That's your job. But to basically say we're going to come after you, whoa.
Well, and don't forget, philosophically, the Second Amendment kind of movement was about an activist government, about kind of preparing yourself, like being, you know, government can overreach, government can come and try to take your property. So like this idea of trust the government too, like the government is going to tell you what to do, the government's going to take and keep. I mean, it's bizarro world.